Hello and welcome to another Purveyor of Light Photoshop Quick Tip. Today we're going to have a little fun here. We're going to make ourselves a customized profile picture. With all the social media platforms that there are, having a profile picture that stands out above everybody else's is a definite plus. And with Photoshop, it's real easy to be creative and create your own design of your liking for a custom profile. So let me go ahead and show you how to do it. We'll start out with some simple custom ideas, and then we'll maybe go to an advanced one and then let your creativity go from there. Okay, so first things first is I got a nice picture here from my profile. Excuse me. And I'm going to come down to the toolbar here, and you'll probably see a rectangle. Pull down on the little pull out, fly out menu, and you can see we are looking for the elliptical tool. Okay, because we're going to do a circular profile picture. So once we have that selected, we can just come out and start drawing our ellipse. Now, as you can see, it's hard to turn around and make an exact circle. Okay, it wants to do an ellipse, and I'm not very good at drawing out perfect circles. So I'm going to turn around and hold the shift key. And now when I drag it out, okay, it's going to make a perfect circle no matter what I do, while I'm holding the shift key down. Okay, so there's a little tip for you. Now you have it, you release it, and you can now move it around by using the space bar. And you can turn around and come in and Command T, and you can free transform. And to make it a little bit easier to see, make sure you're selected on the tool, the shape tool. Okay. And on the toolbar across the top, we could tell it to have no fill. So hit fill and say no fill. That'll help you position it. Okay. Just remember, you have to be on the actual shape tool in order to see this menu. Okay, so now we can turn around and we can move things around, position it. We can hit Command or Control T to free transform. We can drag it larger, position it how we want it. And when we're happy, okay, now we're going to refill it, okay, because we do need a solid fill color on the ellipse. So I'm going to come up again, make sure I'm on the shape tool, and then that menu will appear. I have no fill, and I have a stroke of 1, okay? So I'm going to take the stroke off. So no stroke. Okay, and I'm going to go to the fill, and this time on fill, I'm just going to go ahead and pick a color. Any color will do. You can pick a crazy color if you like. Doesn't matter, just as long as it's something that you can see. Okay, so I'll just pick a red. And now that we're all done, we can go ahead and click off, and we have our shape in place. Okay, so we're looking pretty good. Now we have to turn around and take our background layer, and we need to move it above the shape layer. But the problem is, when we go to drag it, it doesn't move, as you can see. And that's because by default, the background layer is locked. So I'm just going to go ahead and click this little padlock down here, and that unlocks the background. So now I can drag it and move it above. Okay, so now I have the picture above the shape, and now I just want you to turn around and see the two layers here, and I want you to carefully position your cursor right on the dividing line, okay, and hold the Alt or Option key. And when you do that, you'll see this little down arrow with the square appear, and then you click. Now that creates a clipping mask. Okay, and you can see right there, we have now made a clipping mask to restrict. So it's very easy to turn around and make a custom shape and do a mask this way. Now, of course, I could have done this a million ways. I could turn around and have put a border. So if I click on the shape layer, make sure I'm on the shape tool, okay? And then I could change it to have a border. See, I could put a nice white border here. So now that we have that there, okay, and we have our little custom shape, we can even test it to see if we like it. We can go down below and we could add a adjustment layer by hitting the adjustments, and then just put a solid color or a gradient, whichever you prefer. And we'll just drop it down the, we'll just say the blues. There we go. Okay. And we will put this down below. And now you can see what your custom thing is like. So make sure you like it. Okay, and we have our custom thing. Now, remember, our thing is to make it transparent. And you'll notice that Photoshop makes a checkerboard pattern around what's not in the image. That represents transparency. And so we need to trim all this excess away. Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to have to trim the image. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of grabbing the crop tool, and then they're going in there and they're trying to crop the image. Okay, that's not the way to do it. What we can do is an easier way. We can use Photoshop's trim function. So we go up to Edit, our image, and then Trim. All right. Now we select, say, we're going to trim it based on transparent pixels. Okay. And in other words, anything that's transparent, the checkered pattern, we want that trimmed off the image. And then we make sure that it's going to trim the top, the bottom, left, and right. So make sure all of those are checked. And then it's just a simple matter of clicking OK. And the system will trim the image to the absolute smallest size. Okay, now it'll still show the checkered pattern, but remember, that just represents transparency. It will not be in the final image when we export it. Okay, so now we've got the image, our profile image, all trimmed up and nice, and it stands out. Now we need to turn around and save it. Okay, now normally most people save their images as JPEGs, okay, JPGs. Unfortunately, JPEGs do not support transparency, okay? And this image has transparency. In other words, it's a circular image. If we were to export this as a JPEG, all of this transparency would be filled with white, and it would become a rectangular image again, okay? So we don't want to do that. We need to save it as a special type of an image called PNG. PNG, all right, that supports transparency. So go up to File and then Save as a copy. And now we are going to call this Custom Profile. And we want to turn around and pull down the format, and we want to select PNG. And again, remember, if we accidentally pick JPEG or anything else, it's not going to support the transparency. So we need to select PNG. So we select that, and we'll just tell it to go to downloads. That will be fine. And now it's going to give you a dialog box saying, do you want a large size? Do you want a medium size? You want the smallest? Okay. I always recommend going for the smallest because that's going to give you the smallest file size. And when you're dealing with the web, the smaller your file size is, the faster it loads on the web pages. So hit that, and it's going to turn around and save. Now, depending on your computer, it may take a few seconds because doing the save on the slowest one may take a few seconds to do so. Okay, and you can see right here on the upper left, I'm still saving at 99%. So even with my powerful computer, it's taking a little bit to compress this image down and its transparency. Okay, all right. So now why this is doing this, this was a walk you through the basics of things. So hopefully this will inspire you to do some custom profiles, jazz up your profile pictures, get some interest online. And till next week, you guys take care.